Team. Call 912-810-1540. Let First Southern Bank be your bank of choice. First Southern Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
8 o'clock here at the Big Dog WIFO, world famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, and First Southern Bank. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Jonathan. We got several special guests in the studio today. We got School Superintendent Jay Brinson, High School Principal Brett McDaniel, and School Board Chairman Nick Ellison. Talking first of all, graduation. Graduation going to take place this Saturday for the class of 2020, Jay. And I guess we'll start with the high school principal, Brett McDaniel. Again, we talked about it here on the show, Jonathan and I have, about how the seniors just got the shaft with this COVID-19, lost out on a lot of things. But fortunately, there is going to be a graduation ceremony. It's going to be limited. Tell us how it's going to go, Mr. McDaniel. I know the seniors are getting 4 guest tickets, so I guess if you got roughly 300 seniors, that's maybe 1,200 people in the stadium on Saturday. Is that what we're looking at?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good math. And we're going to try to social distance as best we can throughout the stadium with our kids on the field, in the stadium. And even when, I think I heard you make the announcement earlier in the week that we're going to have the kids pull up and park on come in the Orange Street side and park in the James E. Bacon parking lot. And we got some faculty members and staff that'll be out in the parking lot to direct traffic, to get them in and out of the cars and get them through the gym in kind of orderly fashion and get them lined up. Got folks that'll be along the way to kind of keep them 6 foot apart the whole way to the back of the stadium until we get ready for the ceremony. So we're doing everything we can to try to social distance, but we also are trying to do the best we can to have a physical graduation. I think that was the aim and the goal for the board, the superintendent, and myself as well, to try to hold true to a physical graduation and reward these seniors with something. And I think we've held our promise, and we're going to try to continue to do that through Saturday. Hopefully by lunchtime we had it all wrapped up, and they'll have a memory to carry with them the rest of their life.
On the field, will the faculty be down there as they normally are, or the students, or how's that going to work?
Yes, they'll be behind the students this year because of the 6 foot distancing and both directions, forward and side to side. The faculty will be behind them instead of on the wings like they typically are in years past. But yes, the faculty will be on the field. And
I'm curious of the social distancing in the stadium. Will we mark like every 6 feet, or how's that? You got Miguel and them out there barking it off.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks to Miguel and the maintenance guys out there, because they've already started looking and planning on how they're going to mark off every other row and every few feet and getting it set up for us. And even the lineup process all the way to the back of James Bacon, they're going to stake flags so we know where to stand, that we're socially distanced all the way through. So hats off to those guys. They're working hard all week this week to try to get prepared for Saturday morning.
What kind of turnout? Most seniors going to participate, you believe? Have you got any feedback?
Hadn't heard a whole lot. I know we've got a few military kids who, we did a small military ceremony for right at the end of May that have already gone to serve our country, and we do appreciate their service and know they're going to do great things. But we were able to recognize them before they left. So I know that about 7 or 8 of those are going to be already gone. So we'll lose those kids, and I think maybe 1 or 2 probably won't want to get up and be there at 7 o'clock or 7:15 to get ready for our 8 o'clock ceremony. But we hope that the ones that aren't military kids will be there and enjoy the service and the ceremony, and like I said, create a memory that will last them the rest of their life, and not a corona memory.
Oh, it's just nice to have a graduation for these kids, Jay. Graduation is an important thing. You're a big part of it. Again, it starts at 8 o'clock Saturday morning, so people, it's already hot right now at 8 o'clock. We just walked outside. It's already in the upper 90s. So I guess the question is, how quick will the graduation ceremony go? If they get there at 8 o'clock, we're looking at about a 35-minute, 40-minute ceremony. What are we looking at?
Well, like Dr. McDaniel said, we're trying to make this graduation exercise as normal, and as comparable to all the ones we've had in the past. And let me start off by saying, to the whole community, especially the parents, grandparents, the families of these seniors, we're doing the best we can. But at the end of the day, we know we're falling short with limited attendance. But we're in the kid business. We got to put kids first, and we felt strongly that these kids at least deserve this live graduation memory. It is important to be a Yellow Jacket, to get that diploma, and that's going to go with you for the rest of your life. They need to have that memory. So we're not taking anything away from the ceremony itself. Now, it looks a little different, obviously. We'll be pretty much goal line to goal line with chairs and faculty and students sitting on the field. And unfortunately, we're having a limited attendance. We're not going to allow anybody on the field. And I'll let Lieutenant Ellis talk about that here in just a minute. But so it does look a little different, and I want to apologize to those families that those people are not being able to attend. We had to do that and able to pull it off. We can't go outside. The governor's executive order is very, very clear in large gatherings, and so we're not going to step outside the law. Especially when one of my bosses is a police officer. So that's just where it is. So we don't have the latitude to do that. We're not trying to do anything to, control it. We want to celebrate these kids' accomplishments, and they've been so much has been taken away. So we're going to get that in. We did move it from 10 to 8. I don't know what I was thinking, but 10 o'clock, this is about as hot 10 o'clock as it's going to be all day long. So, right now it's about 80 degrees outside, so it'll be a little cooler. But, the ceremony will last, I look 50 minutes to an hour, about like it usually does. We'll have our Val and Sal speaking and those types of things to recognize the students, and then every student will come pick up a diploma.
What about online?
Yeah, we will be live streaming it. Dr. McDaniel, you want to give us some details about that, what that looks like?
Yes, sir. We'll excuse me. We'll have a YouTube link that'll be on the Wayne County High School website, and it will go live at 7:45 Saturday morning. Just in case you miss it, you can search YouTube for WCHS Graduation 2020, and that'll pop up the live link for our graduation services. So again, it's WCHS Graduation 2020 on YouTube, and it will go live at 7:45 Saturday morning.
And one change, I guess, after graduation, most parents are allowed to come down and take pictures, all that. Mr. Ellis explained why that's not going to take place.
So in order to, again, protect some of the social distances and enforce those guidelines, we're going to have to limit the amount of people that's doing a mass gathering in one particular area. And so we're really just going to ask parents after the ceremony is over just to file back out of the gate, and the seniors will file back out of the same gate that they enter in, which is down by the soccer fields where the Yellow Jackets normally their locker room is. And we're going to try to, work with people to, escort them and give guidance out there. We've met with the sheriff and Chief Deputy Donnie Ray, Chief Mike Lane, and Chief Hargrove, who have all committed to assisting us with graduation and planning it out. We're going to have some of our access roads shut down so people can't drive down those roads, and that's so that we can protect the people that are coming inside of the gate with their tickets. And the tickets have been a hot topic, but we're asking everybody to cooperate with us and work with us and understand that this is really the only way that we could do it for this type size of graduation. I've had the opportunity to observe Glenn County and watch both of their graduations, and everything seemed to have ran smooth. I talked with a few of our law enforcement partners there. Parents in the community cooperated and understood that only certain individuals could come into the stadium, watch both of the ceremonies, and everything ran pretty smooth. And so we're just asking everybody to help us out and protect this ceremony. And I commend the work that Dr. Brinson, Dr. McDaniel, and all their staff have done to do this, because this was a tough decision from March. First thing we talked about was how graduation was going to look, and we stood fast and held fast to not canceling it, not doing a virtual, but having a live ceremony, and this is what we're going to do. So,
are most people just happy there is a ceremony, Jay, or are you catching flack for people not being
a mixed bag, I guess. I mean, it's disappointing. I had a grandmother tear me up pretty good over the weekend, and I understood. I mean, I just sit there and say, "Yes, ma'am, I understand." But yeah, the seniors, the seniors themselves. I know Mr. Ellis has talked to a lot of them. He speaks to them regularly, and they're excited, they're appreciative, and I think the immediate family. But it's disappointing when everybody can't attend. So, and we understand that. Again, we're these are just times. That's just where we are, and we got to
No one's ever seen times like these. I mean, it's just strange.
No. So we're doing the best we can, and we're just asking folks to, support us and be flexible and be compassionate and understanding. I'll echo what Mr. Ellis just said. I appreciate the board supporting this. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do. When you limit to attendance, we've done that. I think one time before, and we knew what we get into. So I appreciate their support, and Dr. McDaniel and his staff. Renee Herron's that veteran that we go to about graduation ceremony. She's been a Trojan, working like a Trojan, along with the whole staff at the high school, especially that counseling staff, getting things ready. That event just doesn't happen.
Right.
Like you said, the maintenance staff's been out there with marking off seats. I mean, that stadium sits about 4,000, so that's a lot of marking off and going and doing. But I think we have a good plan to make sure it's safe and orderly, and we stay within the guidelines for a mass gathering. Again, there'll be about 2,000 people out there overall. So moving around, so that's a pretty good trick. But I think it's going to go well.
Will they have part of the band there, Dr. McDaniel, to play the alma mater, things like that, or that they normally do, or just the students? So no band. No,
we're going to limit it to just the students this year, and keep it as, like Dr. Brinson said, keep it as traditional as possible. JROTC will be there to present the colors like they did last year. So, we're not taking anything away that we haven't done traditionally, but the band probably, just will forego that and do everything like we have in the past without.
And it's been a while.
Band.
It's been a while since we announced who the valedictorian and salutatorian is, and it's part of that triplet family. But again, tell us who the valedictorian and salutatorian of the class of 2020 is.
Vanessa Correa is our valedictorian, and Anthony Correa is our salutatorian.
And both will speak at the ceremony.
Yes, sir.
That'll be good.
And like I said, everything will be just like a traditional graduation.
Have these seniors already received their diplomas, or will they pick them up after the ceremony? I mean, is this?
No, we had a pickup day where they got
they already got
they got a whole bag full of stuff.
Gotcha.
More and more entities now, especially military, but even more employers now, they want to see. I don't understand, but they really want to see the physical diploma. They don't, they don't care about a transit. They want to see physical diploma. So Dr. McDaniel worked hard with his staff to get those already issued out, and we didn't want to postpone any plans. Because some folks are moving on to colleges and jobs and that sort of thing as well. So
the main thing we're trying to stress to the seniors, again, they're going to have a practice day on Friday, so you want them there at 7:30 on Friday at the James E. Bacon gym area. And again, you're saying not to leave your vehicle until someone comes and gets you. Is that correct? Explain that, Dr. McDaniel.
That's correct. We're going to mimic everything we do Friday morning so that it looks like Saturday morning. So the arrival time, or the start time of graduation practice will be at 8 o'clock. The graduation itself will be at 8 o'clock. We're going to have them arrive at 7:30, and we'll have somebody move them out of their cars and move them through the gym, and then we'll move them onto the field and have them lined up, in an orderly fashion, distance, so that nobody's on top of each other, so they get the actual experience of being ready for graduation on Friday morning, so that it mimics Saturday morning. Now, Saturday morning we'll be there at 7:15 versus 7:30. Everybody has to have their their hair done and have their graduation cap sitting on straight and stuff like that. But once we get through with graduation practice, at kind of the culminating piece of it will be getting their tickets. So we will give those the graduating seniors their tickets for their families once they leave, and they'll exit kind of the same way they will Saturday morning. Once we get through with the graduation practice, we'll get them the tickets, and they'll move on back out of the back of the stadium, kind of like they would Saturday morning.
So those come to the graduation on Saturday, you'll have to have a ticket to get in. Is that correct? If you don't have a ticket, you're not going to get in. Is that correct?
Yes, whoever the students select will get in. Whoever they choose to give their 4 tickets to.
But you have to have a ticket. So you just can't have people normally people just show up to the graduation. We're just stressing due to the guidelines. If you don't have a ticket, you're not getting in.
Well, I can tell you, StubHub is not in danger of going out of business. We made our own tickets, but we're able to, we made them a certain way. We've embossed them and kind of, done a little something special to them. So they'll be checked. They will be checked at the gate. We'll have ticket takers, and law enforcement will help us out. And we got people that we know might be creative with print shop and all the things out there now, but I think they'll be easily identifiable, and so that's just part of it. We just have that a certain allotted amount of tickets that we're able to issue, and that's what we've done. And like Dr. McDaniel said, that the senior get their 4 tickets, and what they do with them, families' situations are different from family to family, and we just can't get into that and be fair and equitable about it. So it's up to the seniors. The seniors, again, we're about kids. The kid can certainly decide who they want there to view the graduation.
Again, if you're just joining us, we've got School Superintendent Jay Brinson, High School Principal Brett McDaniel, School Board Chairman Nick Ellis in studio talking about graduation. Also talking about schools right around the corner, Jay. The numbers continue to spike here in Wayne County. Again, it went from 171 to 192 in one day for the Georgia Department of Public Health. So I know the school board is looking at those numbers as well, making decisions. But right now, everything's a go for the upcoming school year is still August 10th. Is that correct?
It is. We do have a plan, and we'll be putting that information out here today or the first thing in tomorrow morning to the public. We've been reviewing it, kind of fine-tuning it. And, of course, we're watching what's going on. We're taking guidance. We got some new guidance from the Department of Public Health, and that's been the challenging thing. We've been planning, but what we don't want to do is put out information, and then it changes a week later, and you got conflict and information out there now. You see the message really in America, in my opinion, there is so much. You got this person saying this and somebody saying the exact opposite, and it confuses people, and that's not what you want when you're dealing with 5,500 children trying to go back to school. But we do have a plan to go back to school. We certainly have a lot of processes and procedures in place to mitigate the exposure, but we're going to continue watching what's going on. And you're right, the numbers are up right now in Wayne County, in the state of Georgia, and that is concerning. But everybody needs to keep in mind that, and we're watching it, but 14 days from now, and I'm not going to say 100%, but 99.9% of those folks will be through with that virus. Now, we're certainly going to watch the trends, so hopefully that will change, but it could yo-yo and change a couple of times, really, before school's scheduled to start. And if we need to make adjustments, we certainly can. I mean, that's the plan we've built. I know there's a lot of discussion about virtual education as opposed to in-person education. We're going to have to be nimble. We've learned a lot, done a lot of work planning to be able to do some virtual learning with students if need be. And it might not be a whole school. It might not be a whole grade level. It could be a class. It could be a pocket of students. What we don't have the capacity to do is to run 2 school systems. It's just not feasible to think that a teacher's going to teach an in-person class for 8 hours a day and do all the things that go along with that. Oh, and I also have to teach these other 5 students in my class that are going to be virtual. That doesn't work. It's not appropriate for teachers. A lot legal concerns. And of course we're talking to a lot of people in our plans. Our board has supported it, but I can tell you I was on a conference call with the governor, Dr. Toomey, and Richard Woods, our state superintendent, and he spoke to we're speaking to a group of superintendents trying to make sure we were clear and on the same page with those 3 entities where we can help make decisions at the local level. That's been nonstop for the last 4 months. Mr. Ellis and I are been meeting weekly with a group of our local leaders, community leaders, law enforcement, the mayors, the county commissioners, city council, city manager, just everyone, deciding what it looks like in Wayne County. And I'll commend that group. They've done a great job. Also, obviously our health officials, Joe Wright at the hospitals, who's been a tremendous resource of information. We're in the education business, and we're not in the health care business. But that's not what we went to school for. It's not what we studied. So we're going to rely on the experts. We're going to rely on what they say, and when it changes for them, it's going to change for us. You get into some of these with schools and all things going in regular school, traditional schools, what I'll call it. You get into all these what if situations. Well, it's certainly going to look different. We're going to do a lot of different things on how we go about it. But what we've come to, and this is what the board's supporting, and this is my stance today, and it can certainly change, is that we're weighing out the benefits of having children in school, being cared for by their teacher, and the whole child. We're not talking about teaching reading, writing, and arithmetic. We're not talking about really instruction. We're talking about caring for the whole child. You can look up the numbers when children out of school, check the numbers and how they increase with child abuse, child neglect, bad things. We had a 15-year-old child missing the other day. Things that tend to increase when they're not in school. So we know they need to be in school. So we're weighing that out as opposed to the potential risks for contracting cases and affecting their health. The positive thing for school-age children is the facts are, and I'm trying to, this thing, in my opinion, has been politicized, and it's all been folded into one thing, and it's hard to decipher the facts and decide what's best for kids and educating kids and caring for the whole child. But at the end of the day, we're weighing out the risks as opposed to what we're trying to accomplish. For school-age children, knock on wood and thank the Lord that, we've had 124,000 cases in the state of Georgia. And the last time I looked, we've only had one school-age child in the state of Georgia pass away from, COVID-19, and that individual had some severe underlying pre-existing health conditions. So we're weighing out that risk for what the child will get, kind of like we did the last really 4 months with issuing meals. We know how important that is. We've seen that through tornadoes and hurricanes and how that need is in Wayne County. That's something that the school system is not required to do. It's a community need. We know kids do it. We're happy to do it. Dr. Trapnight's staff has been over backwards, but we issued those meals for the last 4 months, knowing we weighed out that need. But there's a risk. If you got, 10, 12 people back there preparing lunches, and of course, we're trying to do everything we can to prevent it, but nothing is 100% effective in preventing it, treating it, or curing the virus. That's the facts. And so, so we did the best we could. It's worked well. We'd like to think we've not contributed to any of those numbers, any of the rises, but that's going to be the approach we take with starting back in-person school. And if we need to adjust, we will adjust. We can go, we're in better shape. We can go totally virtual, if we need to.
Right. It seems like everybody's waiting for these 2 weeks in July before anybody makes, I keep seeing, watching like I say, how interested I am in the sports programs, GHSA, Executive Director Robin Hines, they keep looking at that every day too, and they're saying that, look, we're going to wait to the end of this month, see where we are, kind of reassess, and then go from there. So I guess, is the school system pretty much in the same ballpark in that,
We're at the point now, yes, sir. We're going to watch it, and if we think we need to change what we're doing, overall, we're not being unrealistic. There's going to be students that come up with the virus, and we're going to have to manage that. And so we're going to go through the Department of Health guidelines on when somebody has a confirmed positive case. There's specific guidelines on how you go about that. Now, a lot of that is done by the Department of Health. We're not going to do contact tracing, in the school system with with our fourth grade teachers and an assistant principal. That's not their expertise, and that's not what's recommended. The Department of Health will help us. Now, we're going to communicate with them to figure out exactly what we need to do, and if we need to shut down a class for a few days or 2 weeks, or if we just need to put some more mitigating factors in, if we need to, we got to shut down the water fountains, or we're going to require masks. And let me mention masks in a minute, but that's the governor's not mandating masks. I've not asked the board to support mandating masks. There's a lot of there's not a lot of things that go along with mandating things. I don't think that's appropriate, in my opinion, for Georgia or America. We're still Americans. Now, I'm not saying we might not need to do that in small areas for a small amount of time, but they're certainly going to be encouraged and allowed to be worn by all staff, all students. We're even going to get teachers. We know how important it is for students, small students or younger students, when they're learning how to read, when they're learning sounds, learning the letters. It's important for a child to be able to see a teacher's mouth. That's part of the learning process, and learn how to speak and read and comprehend what you're reading. So, we're going to buy the shields. The teachers will be able to wear a shield, and we're buying these things. If we need to get some more, we're going to get some more. Some of the stuff we're going to have to work through as we, at each school site, each school site, the flow of traffic, the flow of schools, a little bit different. So the guidance that we'll, push out will be broad enough to allow the administrator to make some decisions and keep the school day going and keep people as safe as we can make it.
Yesterday we had the CEO of hospital, Joe Roddy, in here. He talked about a simple rule: if you don't feel well, stay home. But I've been to the school board meetings the last couple of times, Nick, and the discussion was that unfortunately a lot of parents send their kids to school knowing they're sick. So how do we combat that?
We're asking our parents to help us out. If you know your kid's sick, if you know your kid has experienced some type of symptoms, even if it's a common cold, consider keeping them home for that day, because that could prevent the spread of the common cold. And helping and really helping our parents understand the importance of everybody doing their part. The school system has a part, but we also encouraging our parents to step up and do their part a little more than what has been. And I'm not saying all parents have fell short. They haven't. But we do have some issues where we need more support from parents in our school district. And this is one of those situations that we need their support in.
Well, the good news is you're in here talking about graduation. There is going to be a graduation ceremony Saturday. Hopefully, I don't know what the weather forecast for the rest of the week. We have any chance of breaking this heat, Jonathan, or is it's just going to stay this way today? Yeah. So Jonathan's shaking his head no. So, again, it's going to be a hot day. But, again, the good news is there's going to be a ceremony. Like I said, hats off to the school. I mean, I'm just going to commend y'all. You said from day one you wanted to have the graduation ceremony. Didn't want to just do it virtual. You wanted to have a live ceremony. They picked a date. The date's here. I think the seniors are excited. I think most people are excited. There's going to be a live ceremony at JC Stadium, and hats off to y'all for at least coming through with that promise to these kids. Like I said, they missed out on so much this past year. It's nice that they're going to at least have a graduation ceremony at JC Stadium. It's not going to be a normal graduation by any means, but at least they're going to have one, so that's good news.
One last point, Bob, and Mr. Ellis hit on it. We do need the parents' cooperation, really everything we're doing, and that communication part. If your contact information has changed, we really need you to contact the schools. The front office and principals will be back in the buildings tomorrow. Please contact your school to update your contact information. We're fixing to put out a bunch of information through, our website, Kinvo. That's a system. We push out a lot of information that we have to have your current phone number, address, and all that good stuff where we can communicate with you. But last thought, and I'll be quiet, is that if you've not heard anything that I've said during this 30 minutes, the best thing you can do for the Wayne County school system and our community is if you don't feel well or your child does not feel good, please stay home. Stay home if you don't feel good, even if it's a little minor symptom. Just stay home and see how you feel for half a day. And if you get better, come on back. If not, please stay home.
And the first day of school is August 10th, is that correct? 10th. And when do teachers report?
August 3rd.
August 3rd. So, again, right around about 3 weeks away from that.
Getting close, yes.
Again, everybody's got their fingers crossed that we'll have a normal school year, because I told the story yesterday. My sister in Virginia's fuming because they've gone to virtual learning, but if they do have school, they're only allowed to go 2 days a week, so she's not real happy about that. So I said he's getting ready for his senior year football, and he's hoping they're having a football season up in Virginia, but just praying every day that's going to take place. But more and more they keep talking that college football is not going to take place, so we'll wait and see how that works out. But the high school season, again, from everything I read and hear from Mr. Hines up there at GHSA, everything's on schedule, and hopefully we'll have a football and soccer and volleyball and cheerleading and all that will take place just like normal. So,
sure hope so.
Yep. Well, we appreciate you people coming in. Like I said, when's the next school board meeting, Jay?
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
I think that's 21st.
Look at us. We'll get some more information there. Mr. Ellis, you have something?
I just want to, say this again. Every senior is going to be given 4 tickets, and we're going to ask you, if you don't have a ticket, we're going to ask you not to come to the stadium. Again, we've coordinated with the sheriff, Chief Deputy Donnie Ray, Chief Mike Lane, Chief Mike Hargrove, and they're all on board supporting us, helping us provide safety and security. We'll have officers assigned with the gatekeepers. The main entrance gate will be, the biggest area where people will be coming in, and also where the Touchdown Club cookout hut is. Those gates will be open as well.
And Dr. McDaniel, one final thing before we leave. You mentioned if they can't attend the ceremony, they can watch it. So give them that website that they can watch the graduation ceremony this Saturday.
Again, it'll be posted on the Wayne County website, or you can search it on YouTube. It'll be WCHS Graduation 2020. So you can search that on the on YouTube, or the link will be live on our website, and the ceremony itself will go live at 7:45. So the link, when you click on it, the link will be live at 7:45 Saturday morning.
Okay, we'll keep promoting that the rest of the week, and look forward to the graduation ceremony again. Hopefully it's a beautiful day, and like I said, it's something these seniors will remember. Like I said, it's going to be different.
Yeah.
But at least they're going to be on that field like all seniors of Wayne County that graduated years past. So appreciate you guys, and again, appreciate you being here on the show today.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay, that's going to do it for today's World Famous Butch and Bob Show.
World Famous Butch and Bob Show on WIFO, brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, and First Southern Bank. 8:30, good morning from the Big Dog WIFO.
Murphy's Builder Supply is where you need to go for all your home improvement projects and hardware needs. They've been serving folks in this area since 1946. Murphy's offers some products and services that you may not know about. They now sell ammunition, both bullets and shells. Murphy's also sells personalized tags for dog collars. They build customized screens for windows and doors. Murphy's can rekey locks, and of course they can make keys. They cut glass for windows, plus Murphy's has monthly door buster specials. Check their Facebook page to see what's on sale. Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jessup.
Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings restaurant in Jessup is now open for business, practicing social distancing, but still serving that great food that Damon's is famous for. Come inside or come through the drive-thru, but Damon's is open inside and welcomes back its customers. The menu's the same, the service is fast, and the food is fantastic, and the sauces remain the same, mild, wild, insane, or inferno. The number is the same, 588-WING, 588-9464.